Another day and more free agent signings for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's dive right into it. Alright guys, welcome back in. Now before we get started, definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content on the road to 12K. Can't do it without you guys. Definitely subscribe it up. Also follow me on all my social platforms so you're able to get the news a lot quicker, because sometimes videos take a little bit to go ahead and make. In the description of this video, you will see that link, so you can go ahead and follow me on my social platforms as well. But let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. We do got breaking news coming out of the world of the Arizona Cardinals, and now there is two reporters coming out with this. It's Mike Garafolo as well as Ian Rappaport coming up with the same news, right, for the Arizona Cardinals. And it is say this: Arizona Cardinals announced they've agreed to terms to bring back cornerback Antonio Hamilton, also to sign former Seahawks first rounder LJ Collier. Now let's talk about Antonio Hamilton here real quick. We all know that Antonio Hamilton might have been our best cornerback last year, especially in some spurts, but he has gone through that whole unfortunate situation where he ended up burning his legs and he had to miss some time for the Arizona Cardinals. So he really didn't have a good full season with the Arizona Cardinals. But honestly, Antonio Hamilton is a journeyman. He's always been a journeyman. He's been playing with multiple different teams, and he kind of found himself with us last year, and I guess the Cardinals like them because we're bringing him back. Now, his 2022 stats, like I said a little earlier, he didn't play every single snap, but, they are what they are, right? Only one interception, 40 solo tackles, and it is what it is. Now, at this very moment, the Arizona Cardinals, I think they realize that cornerback is a need for them. We just got rid of Byron Murphy, or allowed him to sign with the Vikings. Right now, we're rolling with Antonio Hamilton as well as Marco Wilson. Now, I really do hope the Arizona Cardinals can think to continue to bring in more talent for our cornerback role. If not that, then really go deep into the NFL draft, maybe drafting one or two, kind of going back to back and seeing if we can bring some talent out of the draft this year, because I think the Arizona Cardinals really need it. We need the help, we need the depth, we need it all. Now let's move on over to the next player that we ended up signing, and that is LJ Collier. Now the biggest kind of good thing about him is that he is a former first round pick, and the only really thing I know about him is that, right? That, and he got drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in 2019. He was a 29th overall pick to the Seattle Seahawks, but honestly, it doesn't seem like he really had a very good career with the Seattle Seahawks. It seems like one of those players that was drafted very high but didn't really work out. Now, in terms of his career, his sack count is 3 sacks. That's it. Just 3 sacks. So definitely not a guy that, had very much success within the Seattle Seahawks. But I think the Arizona Cardinals maybe see some potential in him. He's 6'2", 291 pounds, and he's still 27 years old. So maybe he just needs a different scenery, right? And I think there was a report that came out that said the Arizona Cardinals' plan is to move him around the defensive line to see kind of where he fits the best and see if he can be kind of the jack of trades. So we'll see what happens there. LJ Collier, I mean, honestly, I'm not too high on this signing, but I think the Cardinals need the help as well, especially if we are looking into getting some help for the interior defensive line. That's definitely something that we absolutely need. But if you look at both of these two players, it definitely kind of seems like it fits the trend of what the Cardinals have been doing so far. And what we're seeing so far is that we have two players and multiple other players that we ended up bringing back on 1 to 2 year deals. Now, whether you think that this is rebuild, whether you think this is tanking, the Arizona Cardinals obviously are feeling like this is going to be what we're going to do moving forward, right? Bringing in these players with potential to see what they can do on this 53-man roster, or even if they make the 53-man roster, but basically kind of only doing a max of like 2 years is what we've been seeing so far. So obviously, I'm a little bit more optimistic about Antonio Hamilton more than I am about LJ Collier, just because we've seen what Antonio Hamilton can do. And I'm not saying he's like the guy that's going to solve it all for us, right? The number one corner, shutdown corner. I'm not saying that. He's a journeyman, and I do think he is a very good cornerback in terms of depth more than anything. But I mean, if we're going to have to throw him out there, I think he's definitely serviceable more than anything. He's not a number one. He's a fringe number 2, maybe a number 3, but honestly right now it's the best the Cardinals have. So I'm excited about bringing him back. It is a 1-year deal, as well as LJ Collier is also a 1-year deal as well. So like I said a little earlier, it is fitting the trend of what the Cardinals have been doing so far. So what are your guys' thoughts on the signings for the Arizona Cardinals thus far? LJ Collier, as well as bringing back Antonio Hamilton. What are your thoughts? Put it in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.